Here's a picture and a brochure that makes me look so good my mother doesn't recognize me. Is that valuable? No. So it's all about what's valuable to the recipient. So we're going to start with some old school mail. That's right, the mail. And guess what we're finding now in today's studies? That the response rate and the read-through rates of mail is increasing at very, very high rates. Why? Because people are so deluged now digitally. Are you guys hearing me? But it has to be something of value. Now, let me give you some stats. Only 18% of realtors mail their sphere of influence every month. Let that sink in. Let me put it this way. That's the more Joel Osteen way to approach it. Let me go with the opposite. Let me go with the Simon Cowell presentation. 82% of realtors don't even bother to mail their own past clients, current customers, and sphere of influence every month. And here we are. In this modern world we live in, the number one form of marketing sent out in the mail of the 18% that do are recipe cards. The concept was good, the principle was good, the application no longer applies. It's got to be something of value. Here's an example of something of value. Here's the facts about credit. Does that impact every single person in North America?
Yes.
Surveys show that less than 1/2 or 1% of people know how a credit score is calculated. So here's something that defines you as a person. Boom, boom, boom. Here's your score. Here's your score. I saw a recent ad where a gal had her credit score tattooed on her arm. It defines you as a person. It defines you as a customer. It defines you as your ability to borrow and be able to do other things. Is that true? Nobody has any idea how it's done. So we're going to give them here's facts about credit. Here's how it's calculated. Here's how it works. Here's how to improve your credit. Is that something people are interested in? Here's how to improve it without spending any dough. Are people interested in that? Is that different than chicken pot pie? So what we're doing now is we're mailing something of value to our entire customer base. Let me give you an example of this very stacking effect, the relational approach, and this simple little technique. Here's Kendall Bergstrom, who's been with our coaching program since we started. So she sold a house to Sharon, her client, in 1994. Faithfully sent her an item of value in the mail every month for 21 years. Invited her to her client Christmas parties. She never came. Did Popeyes, okay. Never got a referral from her. Gets a phone call one day. I want you to sell my house. Ah. She goes, I just want you to know, I have so appreciated you staying in contact with me. I always look forward to seeing what you're sending me in the mail. It's always so useful. And when it came to moving, there was no one else we'd even consider. Over 21 years, she spent $350 mailing to that one client. $715,000 listing she sold right away. Over $21,000 in commissions. $350, $21,000. Okay? I mean, there are Colombian drug lords who'd love that kind of rate of return. Are you with me? So we send out an item of value. E-reports, right? So we do live in a modern world, so we now supplement. So what's very important, it has a similar look and feel, it has a similar messaging. So we sent you something on how to improve your credit score. Now here's 5 things you can actually do that have live links. A couple weeks ago, you got it in the mail, and it's like, that's curious. Now you get the email, Now there's more of a chance of doing something with it. Does that make sense? Now you want to make emotional deposits. It's a relational database. You want to make emotional deposits. One of the best ways, and there's so many I could give you, but I'll give you 2. Notes. Now, do I send notes to everybody? No. Okay, it takes time. I start with my favorite people. Nothing in my business has created more wealth for me than writing personal notes. Nothing in my business has created greater depth of relationship than writing notes. And when writing notes are put in as part of the stacking effect. Okay, so, I did notes, now I went and I ordered the new business. I wrote 10 notes, Brian, I just ordered a new house. Is that a good idea? As part of this overall process of mailing and e-reports and making some phone calls, you write those notes and you start with the Pareto principle and you make no apologies for it. I'm starting with my very favorite people and working my way out. The other example would be Popeyes. Gotta love the Popeye. Popeye, everybody know what a Popeye is when you go visit people. You go visit. Now, if you're going to visit people, where would you start? At the very middle. At the center of your Pareto principle. If you read that 80-20 book I just shared with you, what he discovered is that inside the 80-20, there's an 80-20 rule. So that actually 4% of your clients will give you 64% of your business. So here's Bobby Eastman. Just popped by to say hello. Delivered 20 of them. All right? $1 a piece. Got 4 referrals. One person called them and said, hey, thanks for thinking of us. We're ready to sell. It's great stuff. And you see, it's a stacking effect. It's an accumulation of doing this over and over again. This database becomes more and more receptive, more and more receptive. You've sent the items of value. You've sent the e-reports. You've sent in notes. You put in calls. That way, when you plant these seeds, up she comes. Camille gave out 70 bouquets of flowers, a couple bucks a piece. Got 15 referrals. Not 15 leads. Not 15 internet inquiries. Not 15 calls off a sign or an ad, and the sign call's good. 15 referrals. What's that worth? You got to make your clients appreciate. Getting 70 people to give you 15 referrals, is that appreciation? Are those clients more valuable each year? Your business is becoming more valuable. Provide information, provide it consistently, make sure it's valuable, make emotional deposits. You'll be working by referral and living the good life.